Katie Colleen with Colleen Cosplay, and I am doing even more Naruto tutorials. So for this specific video, I'm going to be doing the forearm covers and the shin covers. I have the elbow and knee ones as part of my Ino tutorial video as well, and I will link that in the description down below. This video is part of my 100 subscriber special and was suggested by my subscribers. So to start off, you're gonna wanna get a few measurements. So I'm going to take a measurement at the wrist, and then I'm going to take one at the elbow joint. For the shin covers, I'm gonna need one at the ankle and one at the knee joint. And then you're also gonna want the measurement between the wrist and the elbow, that length of your forearm, and then the length between your ankle and your knee. And then we can get into patterning. So you're going to want to draw out the wrist length. I'm only doing half as much, and then you can cut it on the fold. And then I'm going to do the elbow length as well. And the distance between these two lines is that distance you measured on the forearm. And then you can just connect those two lines together. So you should have this nice trapezoid shape at the end with a nice even slope between the two. I'm gonna do the same thing for the shin measurements as well. I would recommend using wrapping paper for this since it ended up getting rather large. The only thing I had available to me at the moment had been notebook paper. Now I'm gonna cut it out, and for the netting fabric, I am using this performance fabric that I got at Joann's. It's very stretchy, it has that netting shape. Unfortunately, it is covered in gold sparkles since it's supposed to be a dance fabric, and the gold sparkles don't necessarily come out with washing, so I've just been using it inside out for all of my Naruto cosplays. I would recommend that you get a fabric that does have stretch, since it's going to have to stretch over your foot and your hand. Now these are also going to have some elastic at the top and bottom to hold them in place. So I'm using 3/8 inch elastic. Now in order to add this elastic to our forearm covers, we're going to need some casing. You want the casings to also be a stretch fabric as well. So for making the casings, I am going to take the same measurement of the wrist and the elbow. I am cutting 1.5 inches wide to accommodate over twice of the width of the elastic piece. So I have space to fold it over and then extra space for seam allowance. And now we can get to sewing. So I'm going to start by taking each of these elastic casings, folding them in half, and sewing down the side. This will make a tube which we can then thread our elastic through. And I'm going to be using a zigzag stitch for this since I am using a stretch fabric. I'm going to repeat this process for all 8 of our casings. I'm also going to be serging the ends of these just to clean it up. So here is all 8 casings now folded, sewn, and serged. Now I'm going to sew those casings onto the meshing piece that we cut out earlier, just along the very edge there. Again, you want to have plenty of space in that tube that you have made so that you can thread the elastic through. So now I'm going to need the elastic to put through them. So I'm taking that 3/8 inch elastic, and these are just going to be cut to the same sizes as the casings. Now I'm going to get to threading the elastic through. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to take a safety pin, and I'm going to pin that through the very end of the elastic piece. I'm then going to take that piece of elastic with the safety pin and worm it through the tubing that we have created. Now the only thing left to do is to sew that final seam down the side, sewing it together until your forearm cover is just one long tube with casing on either side. And you're gonna sew this right sides together so that you can flip it inside out. Now with that seam sewn, you can trim off any excess fabric, flip it inside out, and these are ready to wear. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.